It wasn't the first week in February, sorry. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, I don't know. Welcome my valued viewers, whatever time of day it is for you. It's early evening for me. It's raining, but I'm in the garage, as it has been lately, very usual for me. It's February. I said I'd give you an update in February. I know. It wasn't the first week in February, sorry. I held my hands up. But the garage is just about finished, 90 to 95%. I'm not a perfectionist, and so if I was to wait until it was 100% finished, it would probably take me 3 or 4 weeks to finish it completely now, even though the main thrust of my remodelling is done. So I will give you a bit of a tour around and show you what I've changed and show you what I'm up to right now. Tuesday, yeah, it's Tuesday. January wasn't particularly good. I said it wasn't going to be. It was £953. Yeah. I was down to under 100 items at one point, and a lot of them were stuff that didn't sell in Q4, discounted to such a point where they were selling. And I got rid of them. I mean, down from like 150 to under 100 by getting rid of them at £2, £3, £4 plus postage. And then I've listed enough to carry on selling things. So 74 items, £953. You can tell they weren't good items at that margin. Never mind, I am listing more stuff now, and better stuff, you know, more saleable, profitable stuff, and hopefully February will be a lot better. Well, you know, that's what I'm planning, that February will be a lot better. You know, if you don't plan, you don't succeed. So the plan is, now that I've put everything on shelves, mostly, there's still a few little bits here and there on the floor because it's not feasible to put them on shelves. Once they're on shelves, and it's a matter of taking each shelf one at a time and inventorying it, stripping off what's worth listing and listing everything on that shelf. That's the plan. As I'm going forward, I'll take a shelf, everything on that shelf gets inventoried, a decision made that day, and then I've got a pile of stuff that's either got to be listed immediately or once processed, but no dithering. For instance, that big pile of Xbox 360s, I've stopped dithering on them, and during January I bought a couple more, like 4 or 5, and I found a few while I was going through the old stock that was on the floor in piles. As you know, it was in big piles. Yeah, so I'm going to take you off the stand in a minute and I'll show you around. And then the plan for the rest of the month and ongoing, because it's not going to take me like 2 weeks to do it all. It's going to take me, you know, quite a while. You'll see why in a minute. And don't forget, I've got some shelves here that I hardly got anything on. And the reason is they're ready for stuff that's coming in from the dining room, because there's a lot in there. Oh, just needed that. Right, I'll take you off the shelf. I'll stand up from my chair. Yes, a chair. I'll show you in a minute. So if I spin it round like that, I won't be giving the game away, and I can put the shelf like there. Alright, that's good. So there's my laptop and my phone. Oh yeah, this is an excellent thing here. See that? That powers this. This is meant to be a wax heater, but it's just right for my mug, if you see what I mean. Right, stand up, and here's where first feeling of the month, but I haven't put my stock of wrapping materials shelf there yet. But I have cleared space for my wrapping area. Currently I have my printer there. The laptop is it goes there really. What I'm intending to do is have a little box with the power supplies, there you go, in underneath, and have this standing on it. And this isn't really low enough when you're standing anyway, isn't high enough even when you're standing, so that's going to be on a stand like so above the printer. which will leave me from this stanchion here all the way to the door, well, maybe the end of the shelf, the end of the surface, for packaging, with this, where the laptop is probably. That actually has a nice display which is going to go stuck on the wall on a couple of little screws. It's got a couple of hooks, and it's got its own USB power supply. I got this before Christmas, but it's very nice. Nice big lit screen. The reason I like this is it doesn't turn off on its own between uses. So as soon as you put something on this is why I want it stuck on the wall. There you are, it's there. As soon as you put something on the surface, it weighs. Then you take it off, it goes back to 0, and it doesn't turn itself off, which is ideal. You're not waiting 5 seconds between weighings for it to start up again. Right, onwards. This is what I've been up to this afternoon. I said to you I'm not dithering on these anymore. These are the old Xbox 360s were in the pile. As you know, there was a sort of column of them. Those are all the dead ones. These are ones that were in the pile that are working. This one's working right now. I don't know why it's not turned on, the TV. It's on now. Is the source? There we are. So that's that one. And I found this many more. Now 2 of these are from before Christmas, which never got listed out of the 11. But I did list 9 and sell 8. I've got 1 listed at the moment which is waiting for sale. But I will be listing all these whether that one sells or not, assuming that most of these work. Some of them won't, maybe 2 or 3, who knows. Those do work, so we're talking probably another 8, maybe even 10. They're all going on. The power supplies that don't get used, there's one of each type there, so I can just convert between the 2 of them, between the 4 of them, with 1 power supply to the back and then the lead to whatever style of power supply it needs. And there's the rubber mats for the rest of the flooring, which I'm getting to in a minute, and loads of empty space which I could put shelves on, but I'm liking the space to be able to spread stuff out that I'm working on. As you can see, working on these today, well tonight, probably tomorrow morning now as well. Finish those. That connection's not very good, is it? Yeah, it's lost its signal. It hasn't gone red. Who knows? Anyway, we'll turn it off. So that's what's been going on. Here is me garage door. A little bit of a repair there because it was starting to get a bit weak just there. And then the dreaded floor. This is the 5% I haven't finished yet. When I said it's 95% done, this is the 5% I haven't done. As you can see, there's some clearing up and tidying to do. There's a petrol strimmer there that realistically I'm never going to repair. I don't really have the expertise. I don't want to pay for it when I don't know what the sale price will be. I haven't done a great deal to these shelves here, specifically because I don't need to. I need to, like I said, shelf by shelf, box by box, inventory it, and then be ruthless, which you know, I have had problems with in the past. Can I make this any wider? That is wide angle. There we go. So the rest of the flooring though is just needs a sweep up and a vacuum. Luckily I found 2 vacuum cleaners. Well, I say I found them. I knew I had them, but I just never been able to get in at them. There's 2 Dysons there. I got one for £4, the other one was given to me for, I don't know, I think the guy was just trying to abandon it at the this one. I paid £4 for that one, and this guy, he was trying to abandon it at the car boot. So I walked over to him and said, "Can I have it?" And he's like, "Yeah, take it away." I found a lot more wires for the Wii's that I've got, and again, being ruthless, I'm going to try and find enough of these that work to make up boxes and working systems. Then my last set sold for £26.99 for a working Wii. I had to charge delivery on top of that because, well, I just had to. So it was about £32. Not brilliant, you know, but that's the value of them these days. And because they're so rare, everybody's looking for them, really, really looking for them, really hard. They're willing to pay top notch. Not. They're not rare. Everybody's had one. Everybody's got 6 or 10 or 18 of them. Right, there's my bubble wrap and tape on a lovely big stick. And you can see the floor, as you can see. This is what I recently got, which is a operator's chair, which is ideal for standing, well, sitting in front of the laptop, or even sitting and wrapping 6 or 8 items at a time. And there's a bin full of crap. There's my garage door, which is actually not a door at all, it's a piece of steel. Well secure. And then we're into the rest of the garage, and I'll give you a long look. Look, floor! I know. So we'll start here. This is a set of shelves, and everything's on them. And it goes from that stanchion there, well, near enough that stanchion there. As you can see, there's a bit of wood screwed across the wall, and there's 5 pieces screwed onto the wall at the back. There you go. Can you see those? No, you can't. You see that? No, you can't, can you? It's too dark. Anyway, and the same at the front. And at the bottom, I've just shoved them in underneath. I originally started by making this set, which is freestanding and can be adjusted if I wanted to by moving the shelves about. And there's a shelf at the bottom in case of, well, leakage and rain pooling in this back end. I thought it might be the best idea, but quite honestly, when you've got plastic tubs on the floor, it doesn't really make any difference. Those are tubs apart from that TV that's not a tub. If that was to go wrong, I think it wouldn't make any difference. I think it's already gone wrong. And then I've got this shelf, which had stock on, is now full of my tools. Which makes sense. They're all in one place. Well, I say all in one place. There's some tools in among, there you are, these boxes. But mostly, what's on here is stock. There you go. It's mostly scrap wood, except for the uprights and a few bits. You see, this is new stock, and that's new stock. But the rest is scrap. That's scrap. That's scrap. That was a big sheet that was stood up on its end. So, in total, I spent about £100 on wood and screws. Screws are everywhere. You know, hundreds of screws. Wouldn't surprise me if there was 600 or 800 screws in this lot, which is fine. But you know, nicely done, I think. And it's increased my storage amount available a lot. Then I got the metal shelves that were here and in the middle and one at each side, and I've screwed them together and I've screwed them to the back of the wall at the back, screwed onto wood bits that have been screwed into the wall, so that we have a 3 set, there we go, of those. Currently they're mostly empty, as you can see. There's very little on those. Empty, empty, that's an empty box, mostly empty. They will be full very shortly, but what I'm intending to do is to leave them fairly sparse and use these for storage of stock that's been prepared and hasn't been listed yet, so I can pull up a box full of good stuff, list it, and then find room on the shelves by taking stuff off the shelves that have got to be processed. So it's an ongoing process, as it were. I've numbered all the shelves so that I can keep a track of the inventory. I've got to renumber all these because this was shelf 16 and that was 17. You might be able to see that. 16, 17, and obviously we're going down to 35 now on the bottom. 35, so that will be 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and then where I started with box 20, shelf 21 over there, is going to be shelf 42. There we go, 42, 43, 44, and onwards, 45, 46, 47. That's 47 shelves of stock, but there's also probably 10, 15 shelves worth of stuff that this store needs either too much processing, or once you do process it, it's not worth anything. Very much like, for instance, this thing here. It's a strimmer I bought last year. It was okay for a bit. It's got two batteries, a charger. It uses these little plastic blades that fall off really easily, and you buy like 300 at a time. Well, I bought a box full, used most of them, cutting down me grass, me weeds out in the garden. Lost a lot of them, and quite honestly, it was only about 30 quid delivered. So I'm not concerned if I have to just donate that. What I did buy at the car boot last year was a Flymo strimmer. There we go. And it's got a reel of cable. And it's just as good, but it cost me 3 quid. You know, and then I got a large, very large hedge strimmer. There we go. You might see the end of the strimmer there. Massive industrial thing. I paid 12 or 15 for that. So between the two of them, I don't need any other power tools for the gardening. I've got spades and all that. So yeah, what else did I do? Oh yeah, I put a new light in. Hard to see, but yeah, I put an extra LED light in. Quite useful for extra lighting. I thought about putting a middle one in there, but quite honestly, I don't think I need it. One extra, I think that's 15 or 16 watts. It's probably enough. It certainly makes it brighter in the back end here, and it's as you can see, it's well bright enough to find anything that's on the shelves. Once I've you know, take a shelf down, sort it out on the side, process it like I'm doing with these things. Those are going in the car tomorrow, along with all the stuff on the floor here. It's all going to the tip, and those rubber mats that are at the end of the shelf there, they're going along the rest of the flooring here to make it rubber matted all the way across here. Well, at least 2/3 of the way across. There's no point putting it under those shelves. But yeah, there's enough rubber mats there to go from this end to the door and make the whole thing rubber matted all the way along. Right, that's what I've been going on. Let me put you back on the shelf. So, oh god! Oh look, I've spilt something. It's only coffee. So, thought you'd appreciate seeing what's been going on. And now, although that took me quite a while, and it's, as I said, it's 95% done. If I was to wait until it was 100% done, you wouldn't get to see it. Ever, really. I am going to put a shelf up there. Because otherwise it's just wasted space. This, I do like the height of things so that I can lift something large onto there to clean and test. And yeah, I also have a 1 meter rule on this wrapping table. What I'm thinking of doing is drilling a couple of little holes in it. There's a hole in one end already for hanging it up, but drilling a couple of little holes in it and screwing it onto the edge of the table like they used to do when you were buying material. They don't, you know, for curtains and things, and have a table with a brass rule built into the side so you could tell the size. Well, it's, I mean, I often have to fish about looking for a tape measure and then measure boxes. If that's screwed onto the side of the table, you don't have to look for it anymore, so it's efficient. So that's what I'm going to do. Screw a couple of those holes, drill a couple of holes, screw it onto the table so that I never have to look for another one again, and it'll be far enough away from the end so that I can just plonk the box on it and read off how long it is. Simple. And with this nice new scale, it actually only goes in 100 gram increments, which I'm not really keen on. But of course, if it reads more than 1.9 kilograms, it's over 2 kilograms. And if it reads 900, it's not up to a kilo. So it is accurate, but it only reads at 0.1 kilos. But you don't have to keep turning it on and off. That's the major. You used to have to wait and it'd turn on, and then it'd turn itself off if you didn't use it within about 15 seconds. That's no good. Anyway, I also have the bits underneath these tables to sort out. I told you it was 95% done, not entirely 100%. I'm only waffling for extra content. There is something else I was going to mention, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, dining area. As these get used and I've got more space on these shelves because I've been processing and being ruthless, unlike what I normally do, I'm going to be ruthless. If I can't use it or I can't sell it, it's going. It's as simple as that. If I can't sell it and it's not got any value, it's to the tip. If it's got some value and I can't sell it, I'm happy to donate it. I don't want to be hanging on for every last penny of small items that, well, it's just not worth it. It's like the difference between selling something, and I've seen lots of people saying, oh, you know, try and extract the most money you can for everything you sell, and you know, you don't want to be giving it away when people will buy it for more. People will pay more than that. I've seen other YouTubers talking about this too, and the fact remains is, it's certainly in today's environment, i.e. people are strapped for cash, and they're going to be in the next few years, for at least a while. It's going to, you know, lots of people are strapped for cash. So one of the major benefits of buying on eBay is that you're getting a bargain. And if it's not a bargain, especially on that other site, I've done quite well because I've been given bargains. If it's not a bargain, then all you're doing is replacing retail, and they can go to many, many other places for that. If you are willing to be negotiable on your prices, and you are willing to start with negotiations. I mean, for instance, I sold a PlayStation 2. I showed you it in my last video 21 days ago. I know, sorry. Yeah, that I'd picked up at the car boot. I paid £15 for it with 6 games and 2 controllers. Well, the PlayStation 2 original controller had one button that was working fine but sticking, so I need to sort that out. So I replaced it with a third party, so there was 2 third party controllers. I've got loads of third party controllers that work fine. It's the originals that don't work so good after, I don't know, 15 years, is it? Yeah, maybe longer, 20 years. So I put another third party one in, and I took one of the games out because it wasn't really appropriate to the bundle that I was creating. Added another 10 in, so I had 15 games. Now other people are doing 15 games or 20 games for like £70 with a PlayStation 2. So I started mine at £59.99. And then the next day somebody was viewing it, sent an offer out, had it sold in an hour at £53.99 with a 10% reduction on the first day. But it's sold on the first day. So you see what I'm saying? You do a good price for somebody, they come and buy it from you, and then they'll come back and buy games off you, hopefully. The point is, I made decent money without a huge amount of work on the one item, whereas I could have done 20 small items and made £3 value for money. Let's just widen it out again. Anyway. And that's how I believe I can make more money than I used to. It's not about selling how much stock you're selling, it's how much margin you make on the stock. Now, if you sell something for 80% of what you would have sold it for, but you can sell it in one day instead of waiting a month to get the money back, you can then reinvest that money into new stock or time to sort the stock you've already got, because I've got a mountain of stock that's got real good value in it that I have bought over the last few years, as you know. So I've got to process me Xbox 360s, process me Wii's, process the I've got 3 PS3s down there. Got to do that more often, work in the garage until it's dark like it is today. At least I've got a lot of the Xbox 360s sorted. I'll finish the rest in the morning. They'll be, the ones that will be good are going online, the ones that aren't good are going to the council reclamation, where they basically put it into you put it into a 40-foot container, and they pick it up with a lorry when it's full, send it to India for metals reclamation, which I'm sure they get paid quite a lot for, because there's a lot of metals in those in the electrical things that I've already taken there, and in the boards inside these. Although there's lots of plastic, they reclaim the plastic as well, but they reclaim the metals mostly. You know, I've seen documentaries on it, and there is a lot of metals in the boards. People go on about reclaiming the gold, and yes, you can concentrate on the gold, but there's copper, solder, all sorts of things, you know. Yeah, so that's the plan. Don't know what time is it. 7:15. I think I'll get some tea, and then I'll do maybe another hour, sort out half a dozen of these Xbox 360s. It's great, this. It's still on. It's actually designed for, you know, you have a wax pot when you're doing somebody's waxing. It's just the right size for my mug, and it's a lot hotter than those ones that are designed for USB warming. It is hot enough to burn yourself if you were to lean on it. It's just like a little hot plate, basically. You could probably cook things with it. I have cooked the coffee to the point where I've come back after an hour and it's still warm, but you know how they go, Yeah, horribly cooked, especially if it's got quite a bit of milk in it. I'll go and get some tea, do a couple more hours on this, and then I might upload this into my Mac and see if I can put it together without too much editing. The previous one still had lots of people looking at it without too much editing. I'll put a 2024 playlist together in date order. So this will be number 3, and you'll have seen this one, and I'll do number 2, and I'll put the playlist now here. So enjoy the rest of the playlist. If you haven't seen them before, here it is. Speak to you later.